Alright. Hey guys, I'm Brufio. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to talk about the Bruno Mars signature guitar from Fender. And I can say I can't talk about that topic because I'm one of the biggest, because there's always someone that is crazier than you, but I'm one of the biggest since day one Bruno Mars fans on the planet, guys. No, in all seriousness, guys, in November 7th, 2023, Fender announced that they will make a Bruno Mars signature guitar, a signature Strat guitar. And I will give you some background, what's my story with Bruno Mars, and why I'm disappointed in the fact that the guitar, which we know is now the signature guitar, looks like it looks and is not another guitar. So there's a lot we have to talk about, very in-depth. It's nerdy, it's all about Bruno Mars, but it's also about the Fender Stratocaster, the history, everything. So this is the press release that we had from Fender. It's just November 7th, 2023, where they announced with the 14-time Grammy Award winner and 30-time Grammy Award nominee Bruno Mars that they, in celebration of him, they want to release that signature guitar. What it looked like is what we all know right now is this. So it's a golden Strat with amazing specs, which should be custom shop from specs, but is not custom shop. So it's almost $3,000. If you want to buy it in Germany, 2,999 euros. You can change the pickup from white to black. It is aged a little bit, or relic. It has the bigger headstock. It's what Bruno Mars decided to release as a signature guitar. And now we have to go way back where my story starts with Bruno, or how I got so inspired to pick up the electric guitar. I made some bullet points because there's so much stuff we have to talk about. So something about me and the fandom for Bruno Mars. It all started in 2010 or 9? No, I would say 10, when he released Nothing on You as the first hit with B.O.B. I even have lots of videos on my computer still, where I downloaded all the Bruno Mars material over the years to get back to this, to find out what his songwriting is all about, how his playing is, all the good stuff. I found him in 2010. Beautiful girls all over the world. We sang it on our bikes, in the car, everywhere. It was an amazing hit. Some months before that, I opened up SoundCloud and I found songs of him that were not released. There was just demos or for other singers and songwriters, because he also wrote with his team, the Smeezingtons. He also wrote amazing hits for Flow Rider, I think, Head Right Round. And he had some hits as a songwriter. And I discovered those demos and they were just amazing. I loved them. I loved his voice. And when Nothing on You came out, he wanted to give it to someone as well. So he wanted to give it to an artist that sings it, and nobody could, because his voice was so amazing that no one could beat him. It was also too high. I think they didn't want to pitch it down, stuff like that. So he just decided with his label back then that he would just sing it himself, and the rest is history, of course. So he sang Nothing on You. Then they made an album which was called Doo-Wops and Hooligans, where he said that all his album songs, there are just simple 4 chords like the doo-wop stuff, and it's more about the melodies, about the lyrics and all that good stuff. So this album catched me so much. It gave me so much. I have it here. I have it as vinyl. I have it as CD. I have the fan packages stuff. I have pictures of him. He's just an inspiration of mine. And over the last years, maybe it flattered a little bit in the sense of that I was not this super freak anymore, but I was a really huge fan from 2009 or 10. As I said, up until I would say 2020, 21, where I was really, really into it still. And now he brings out bangers all the time, and I just can't believe it. Like with Lady Gaga, the song, and all that good stuff, the stuff with Silk Sonic. So I found those songs back in the day, like Girl in the Window or Be Alright, which he covered. And let me see if I can find them on my iTunes here still. So Bruno Mars in my media. So I would just share my screen with you guys. So here you see only offline stuff now. It's my Mediatek or stuff that I just bought. I even made thumbnails for the song covers because it was just downloaded, as I said, from SoundCloud or YouTube or stuff like that. So It's Better If You Don't Understand was his first EP. And there were some songs out there, but then he released his album here, Doo-Wops and Hooligans, with the yellow icon here, with the rocket. Just amazing. Every song was good. Every song was amazing. And you can also see here songs, Who Is, World Goes On, which I put in there, Will Be Alright, Voices in My Head, Turn Around. So good songs, which never made it then to the release. As I said, so I had like 20, 30 songs which I listened to all the time. I can remember that Just the Way You Are was released. And for this release, which went #1, of course, he made a European tour. And he came to Munich, and I said to my friend Benny, we should go there and buy some tickets. And the cool thing was, I cannot play it because I would get a copyright strike. The cool thing was that it was only a capacity of, I think it was 600 people, maybe. So really small club in the near Munich, where I always went, and yeah, we had some parties and stuff like that. It was in a little party area where a lot of clubs were, and he played there. So I just knew he was good. He was amazing singer. I loved the songs. So we went there, and that night changed my life because I started to play the acoustic guitar, and I always wanted to play the guitar, but I never could afford lessons. And then YouTube was coming up with like teachers with Marty Schwartz and Justin Sandercore, stuff like that. And I just grabbed the old guitar from my mother, which I still have here, which hasn't had any tuned strings, and I just learned the guitar, and I learned songs from Bruno Mars. I always wanted also to go to the electric guitar, but I started with the acoustic, wanted to sing, wanted to play it, and that was amazing. But then I went to this concert, and I didn't know what to expect. I was in the first row. We stood there for like 7 hours, I think, and then the concert began. And I have some photos here which I want to share with you. I know this is a long tangent to the final story with the signature guitar, but I have to do it. So what you see here is the capacity crowd we had in Munich. You can see it, I think 500 people max. And Bruno was there with his band, with his brother on drums, and the Hooligans, his band. You can also see his pedal board. I even have other photos where I could see the pedal board and the amp and all the good stuff. I knew exactly what he played, and it was just amazing. So this was a photo that Philip Lawrence, his best friend, background singer and co-writer, was doing, and I think he put it on Twitter back then. And you can see me here. So this is me. This guy here. So first row, here's Bernie. I think some girls from our school were also there. So I was here in front of stage. And then it began. Bruno came out, went straight to the drums, and the first thing he did was just play a drum solo for the intro of It's Better If You Don't Understand, or The Other Side, the song. I was so flashed at this moment. Man, I thought how he just plays the drums now. Just amazing. Then he went down to his microphone, and the band came in, and they started with the song. And the guitar that he took was a 1957 surf green Fender Stratocaster reissue maple neck. And it's exactly this guitar. So let me put me here. So this was the guitar, the first impression that I had from Bruno. And I was just stunned by this color. I did not know about surf green. I did not really know this is the Strat, this is this and that. So I thought this is the most amazing guitar that I have ever seen in my life. And let me check. And it should become a big part of my life, of my guitar life. It should become, as I said, a big part. Then he played the first lines. It was loud. I didn't have any ear protection. I was so naive, and I was standing in front of the amps. This is the picture that I was searching for. So you can see he went up to the drums, played it, then he went back here, and it was a Fender Twin Reverb. You can also see the pedal board here, which now I know what pedals they are. It's a Tube Screamer, it's a Plimsoll, it's a Boss DS1 and stuff like that. So he played his stuff. Now you can see he played the drums. These are photos that I made, or that the girl from our school made, because I did not have time to make any photos. I was just flashed. Yeah, so this is it. Here you can see him very young playing his Fender Strat. After that concert, I went home and my life really changed. It was just crazy. And all the time that I played the acoustic guitar, now I played the electric guitar. So I bought a Fender Squier, which was not quite that green. It was darker green. And I remember when I went in the music store, this Mexico Strat, because this is a Mexico one, this Mexico Strat was standing there with some other guitars, and the moment I saw that guitar, it was such a strange moment, because it was like I was seeing him, or like I was seeing someone famous, because in the first time of my life I saw the guitar in real life, then in front of me, but I could not afford it. It was 560 euros, something like that. So I went with the Squier for 120 or something like that. And sooner or later, some months in, I then upgraded to the surf green one finally. I had to check, of course, what are the colors. So what is the color name? Is it the right color that he had? Of course, he did not have a Mexico Strat, which we come to later, but it was looking like the same guitar. And it was the guitar I then played in my first band, my first live gigs, all that stuff. I used this guitar, and I also played Bruno Mars songs, of course, live. My favorite song at the time was Grenade. I listened to it like 50,000 times a day. And yeah, all the other songs as well. Liquor Store Blues, such a great song. So you can see him laughing, loving his life in Munich. 500 people, doo-wops and hooligans. Just no big screens, only this neon light. And after the concert, we met Philip Lawrence, which was cool. Bruno did not come out. It would be the craziest shit ever if Bruno came out that day. But next day they went to Wetten Das in Germany, TV show. So they had to go, and he was kind enough to make a photo with us. Philip Lawrence, amazing. You cannot see me really. So really cool. Changed my life. As I said, this day changed my life. And just to go back, you could see him then perform other stuff also with that guitar all the time. So every time I would see him here, New Year's Eve, stuff like that, he always played that guitar. And I still wonder how he could have the cover here, the ashtray cover, because all the time when I do it, it falls out, but okay. So that's what I learned. Bruno Mars, Surf Green, that's his guitar. Of course, there were a lot of videos that I watched, promo videos and other stuff, where he used like Sunburst struts sometimes, and for videos he used different guitars, but live 90% of the time he was using this guitar. And I always thought that maybe Fender will somehow bring out a signature guitar of him doing that, because most of the people think that he's not a good or an amazing virtuoso guitar player, but I have to say he's an amazing songwriter. He plays the guitar. Meanwhile, today he's really good. He also plays a lot of solos live. He played solos there as well. But I did not know a lot about guitar playing or theory or stuff like that. So it was, for me, it was like he was Van Halen, you know? When I learned guitar then over the years, I could see where his level is or was. So I know exactly that guitar players back then said Bruno Mars is not a real guitar player in the virtuoso genres. But as I said, amazing. He played on records, he played live songwriting. he played solos, everything. Okay, that's just my opinion, of course. He's not a John Mayer, but he's Bruno Mars. He has 150 Grammys, so yeah. So you see him different countries everywhere, and here you can see me live in Munich, Marienplatz, in front of 3,000 people with my band. And look what guitar I have in my hands. It's the surf green Fender Stratocaster. All right. You could also see him then on the road. Here is from Brazil, the Neo Soul Festival. And which guitar does he have for the whole concert other than the ukulele? Here you see it. Surf Green Strat, of course. Let me put me back here. Yeah, so he has this guitar. Even Grenade, amazing solo back then he did with this guitar. Look, he's back with this. Did some covers. Yeah, here's Grenade. And I myself did the cover of this solo back on YouTube in the day. Then I did other solos he made live. So I even did tutorials on it. I really, really love this guitar. And I could, for hours and hours now, how he plays this guitar live every time. Look here. So this lick I stole from him as well. And what is really cool is that when I went to the concert, I did not expect this version of the songs with solos. And I was just so naive. And then they played this with the solo and the intros and the outros. And it was just amazing. All right, if you watched until now, then you are really, really cool, I have to say, to get with me through this long video about the Bruno Mars Stratocaster. Another guitar that I saw with him at this time in the beginning of his career was a red Telecaster with a Bixby. So this guitar was another guitar that I saw a lot with him. You can see it here also in the promo video of the whole album, and It's Better If You Don't Understand. He used that guitar also on this amazing cover of Dirty Diana by Michael Jackson, which he's amazing at doing Michael Jackson songs. It's a big influence of him. Let's quickly check. Yeah, I don't know how much I can play without getting any strikes here. Yeah, this was another guitar that he used, but come on, the Surf Green was the one that we knew. And what is here? Another video. Then I went to Oxford in 2011. I lived there for 3 months or 6 months. 3 to 6 months. And he came to London to the Apollo. And I saw him live again. Same thing. First row. It was amazing. And he still played this guitar. So he was going all over Europe and, as we saw, Brazil and all that stuff with his guitar. And he used that guitar. So here's a picture of the Apollo. It was 16 and 17 of August. And he used the guitar even through his second album, Unorthodox Jukebox, which is really cool. So he still played all the shows, made world tours, and played this guitar. When he did some TV appearances, then he typically used another guitar, and I think that's because all the stuff was maybe in the transports for the tour. And then, of course, he got richer and richer and bought some guitars, which we all can understand. Put me back here. Okay, so this was the Apollo. That was the set list. We did even a photograph with the set list. And then everyone was gone in the Apollo. We were still there, just breathing the air of this amazing concert. This is me wearing the Bruno Mars shirt, which I all still have, these shirts. And you can still see the Bruno Mars bass drum from his brother and the amps. Yeah, so really, really cool. Some photos. 2011. This was another guitar that I only saw one time again, the Fiesta Red. It was the guitar of his other guitarist, and which we come to now for another video that I want to show you from Fender, where he talks about the Surf Green Strat. So let's go to that. This was a video that I also downloaded, but I don't know where it is now. Someone re-uploaded it now. It was originally uploaded by Fender, and he talks there playing his guitar, the Surf Green, and talks about how he got it and that it is his favorite guitar. So let's check it out.
Welcome to Fender Vision.
You can see this, the Fiesta Red one that we saw in the other picture right now.
One of the reasons why I play Fender is because my father bought me my first guitar, and it was a Fender Squire. We got it at a garage sale, and I've been addicted ever since. I feel like a lot of the artists that I look up to, you know, I've definitely grew up seeing pictures and watching them perform live wearing a Fender. You know, from Buddy Holly to Jimi Hendrix, Steve Vai, Eric Clapton. It's just kind of it's the sound of America.
I know that on the original Fender video, he got a lot of heat for, he just played like chords and did a little bit of solo stuff. And back then they all said, he's just a ballad singer and he cannot really play guitar. Fender, why upload a video with him? I know that these were the comments. Today we know they were all wrong, of course. He talks about the stuff. He grew up in Hawaii, and he played in Michael Jackson tribute bands. He played in his dad's band. So a lot of experience. He did some Elvis impressions when he was 5 or 6. And he talks about getting the Squire first, so he always stick to the Strat. It was his guitar. He was used to the workhorse, and now he gets to the 57.
And it's very crucial as a producer to have, for me anyway, a Fender Stratocaster in the studio. I feel like the Strat is kind of like the workhorse, and it could be used in rock, funk, soul, pop music. It's just actually the song with CeeLo, F.U., that's me playing the Strat in the verses, my 57 reissue.
He talks about his 57 reissue. He also did CeeLo Green's F.U., which was a big, big, big hit. I see you driving around town with the girl I love. And yeah, it's all him playing those hit songs, writing those hit songs. So
you're not really doing nothing if you don't got one of these at the studio. My favorite guitar, as of now, is the guys from Fender. I came down to the shop and I saw this, it was a 1957 reissue. It's like seafoam green. And I said...
That's what confused me. He there said it was seafoam green. It is surf green. 1957, it was surf green. But doesn't matter.
I'm going on tour, I'm going to Europe. Can I try out this guitar? And if I like it, you know, can we talk about it later? And they were kind enough to say sure. Long story short, they didn't get the guitar back, and now it's my favorite guitar, and I play it all the time on the road. So thank you, the guys at Fender.
Okay, now you see, he asked Fender, can I have this guitar for a tour and then give it back to you? It was the initial idea, and he says it's his favorite guitar, and he never looked back from that point. So you have to understand that this is Bruno Mars coming up as a big artist, hit after hit after hit, chart topper, and now he is famous all around the world and playing this guitar everywhere.
So thank you, the guys at Fender.
Okay, so this was important for me to show you. So let's go back. Oh, guys, I could give you so much history. It's just crazy. It's I feel also a little bit crazy that I know all this stuff. So we are now in the phase where I wanted to know what is he doing in the studio? How does he write his songs and all that? So I was not the girl fan who thought, oh, he sings amazing and I want to marry him. I was the side of I'm inspired by him. I want to be an artist like him, play like him, write like him, all that stuff. So that was my intention why I was such a hyper fan, or am still today. I got to know the Smeezingtons. Okay, so the Smeezingtons were an American songwriting and record production team consisting of Bruno Mars, Philip Lawrence, and Ari Levine, formed in 2009. So you see, they formed the band, the production team in 2009. And then around 1 year, 2 years later, they were already big with their stuff. And then Bruno got also signed by Atlantic Elektra and made his album and stuff like that. But they made his album in a studio, those three guys, and here and there some help, but it was those three guys. And I found videos like this. So let's check that out.
The philosophy behind Bruno Mars is I'm just a dude that wants to sing. And that's all.
So he's just a dude who wants to sing. You can see on the right, Philip Lawrence, his best friend and writer, and one part also of the Smeezingtons. And you see that they are in a building here, which is a little bit old, brick walls, red, everything is red, and this door here. And I know that they were in Los Angeles, located in Los Angeles. And then I wrote some articles in the Rolling Stone magazine where they interviewed them. And then they wrote, it's Bruno Mars and the Smeezingtons are in the studio. It's just here in LA downtown with what is called when you have washing machines where people can go and wash their laundry in the laundry. And then I just Googled Los Angeles laundries in Google Maps, and after some research, I found this red house near the laundry in Los Angeles. And I always wanted to go to Los Angeles anyway. I also had a flight booked. So I tried to find that house and just knock on the door and ask whoever is there if I can go in and if it's still a studio and if I can watch it. But this was the studio where they made all the stuff, doo-wops and hooligans, stuff like that.
And that's all.
Okay, here, because of the music, I have to cut it. So here he's playing again the Telecaster, as we said. It was his beginnings. And now let's let him talk. I think I don't get a copyright strike for that. You see, that's the stairs where they were. Here was maybe the film team sitting. And you can see here is where it goes in.
And the way I
now he goes into the studio.
sing,
Okay, so you see, that was also, they had, I think, more rooms, and they just separated the studio rooms with those IKEA room parters. I don't know. They had some synthesizers here, an MPC, which they all made the drum parts for doo-wops and hooligans. So really cool, small chemistry. And they did a lot of stuff, like also for chips, for, I think, sour cream and onion versions, where they just sat there and then they sang, sour cream and onion, I love the way you taste. Stuff like that. And it's just inspiring to see the studio. And that, it really, really inspired me also to have, like, I want to have the studio, write for labels, write for artists, get out there myself and play. And having friendships like that in the music is just I'm a little bit scared, but I wanted to show it to you either way. So you saw the studio, and this is SOS was the magazine that did the articles, and it was Lefcon Studio. So that's what I also googled, Lefcon Studio near Laundry in LA, and then I found it. And you can see the gear here. They even had a gear list. So it's just a mixer, I think, where all the synthesizers and the keyboards were plugged in. Man, it's just crazy. Imagine this was the room. It's just so amazing. Only one microphone. They had only one microphone. Okay. So here you see the Mackie controller, the Akai MPC, and Pro Tools they were using. So you can see hard drives. One of the first Macs that they used, and even explanation here. Synth as a monitor mixer, dual vocal combo used for tracking audio sources. Contains Pro Tools interface, the mainly Langevin dual vocal combo. Amazing. So digital synths on the left, microquark, lazies. Okay. I don't know if this still interests you, this video, man, but it's so important. So now we have all this background. He has a 57 Strat, doing his thing, going on tour, still in the studio, making bangers for everyone else as well, which he still does to this day. What can we see here? We see the Smeezingtons, and who is this? That's me back in 2015. I don't know if this was even 14. I'm not sure. But yeah, I did it. I was there, and it was already, so Bruno wasn't there anymore in 2015. He was already touring the world. I think, I'm not sure when he was the main act at the Super Bowl, but also crazy to see him rise to the top like this, from this 500 crowd venue in Munich to Super Bowl. I just asked them, hey, can I just make a photo here on the steps? And they said, yes, sure. It was still a studio, but I think it was not Lefcon studio anymore, of course. And so I didn't want to say, hey, please let me in. I just want to see it. Maybe in January when I go to LA again, maybe I will drive by and maybe ask him if I can just go in one time. And look, I see it now. Even the umbrella is there. Hey, that's so crazy, guys. I did not notice that. That's so awesome. I mean, it's something like that I love stuff like that. Going to filming locations, for example, all that stuff. But this is just amazing. Okay, so I was there, did it, and so you could see here was the post which I saw. Ladies and gentlemen, the Smeezingtons. It was from Julian FT Bruns, so also a fan from Bruno. That was what Instagram was looking like back then. So really cool. And here you can see them as well sitting there and being the Smeezingtons. They also wrote together then the Unorthodox Jukebox album, which from the release party they were also together on the couch making a live stream. Yeah. So I decided the Surf Green is my guitar as well, as I said. Played live with it. You see the ashtray as well. I put a humbucker back on the back, but then replaced it again to be the normal one. So I wanted to have it in its original form. This is so crazy. I know that's Daphne Blue now, but back then I did not know. It says 2017, but that's not true. I made this in 2011, I would say. And that was my signature Bruno Mars guitar. So I made this photo and I thought that I would frame it and put my guitar on it with a wall mount, and then everyone would know I have a Bruno Mars signature guitar. Yes, and over the years, as you may know if you know my channel, so I'm still trying to find that perfect surf green guitar. This was relic and it was a 58, so it was not a 57. All this without going more into any details. All this, and we are in the 24K era now. And Bruno goes into that gold look. He knows now he's an established artist. People will follow him. Let me go to the main camera. So he knows now everyone is following him, watching, listening to the songs, doesn't matter. And then 24K came out, the song itself. And a lot of people went, wow, it's so amazing, dance stuff. And I was a little bit like, the vocoder stuff, crazy synth stuff. Is that Bruno Mars? And yeah, after some days, of course, I knew it was amazing. Also, Versace on the Floor, it's just amazing songs as well. But I think with that album, he separated a little bit from That Was Me. And now I'm grown up and this is what I do now. And he went to that gold look, that pinky ring, that, luxury life more. And he also then played this. Then you could see, okay, now he plays stuff like that. So the Albert Lee Music Man guitar, which is gold. He got it in gold. Typically it's another color, but then he started to have like this gold stuff played. Okay, so yeah, we have the Doo-Wops and Hooligans era. Then let me check the Unorthodox Jukebox, and then he went, this is a Grenade singer, also nice. And then he went to the 24K, which, the look, of course, a lot different now. And then he played the Apollo. So the London was the Hammersmith Apollo, and this was the Apollo, I think, in Brooklyn. And then he went on to play this live show, which they made a DVD of, which I also think they should have made a cool DVD out of the Doo-Wops and Hooligans era. I always waited for that. So he played the golden stuff, golden guitars, and he also played the Strat, which was Sunburst, this one as well. So he did some stuff, but not that he was connected with a guitar like he was with the Surf Green, in my opinion. And these were the eras then. So he went then to the Silk Sonic group, where he made the album with Anderson .Paak, which amazing songs, very 70s vibe. So he went from the Doo-Wops and Hooligans stuff, 60s, 70s, to the unorthodox jukebox, which has some modern stuff in it as well. Then he went back to the 80s with the 24K Magic, and then Silk Sonic was 70s, 60s, 70s. And in this era, you can see gold, a lot more vintage and all that good stuff. But as I said, never was connected again with a guitar like that. And then they announced this guitar, which fits to the Silk Sonic era, of course, with all the 70s look. But it comes out. I was pumped. I only see Bruno Mars Fender Stratocaster signature guitar. I was like, bring it. And I saw it and thought, gold, white, with the big headstock. Never saw him play that. And to this day, I only saw him once, I think, live playing that guitar. And then I tried to find out why he not even played on the video here. So technically, for the Surf Queen, he made a video with Fender. With his signature guitar now, he is not. I ordered it anyways. Biggest Bruno Mars fan, had to order it. And the specs were also amazing. It played amazing, but it was not the guitar that I connected to Bruno. And in the interview with Fender, they just said that, yeah, he has a Strat like this in the studio. And yeah, he wanted to make it with the gold hardware, all that stuff. So he just wanted to make a guitar that looks cool for him for this era now. And yeah, it's not a custom shop, but it feels and has parts like a custom shop. Pricing wise, it's fine. It's not normal American Fender, but also not custom shop. So I ordered it, as I said, played with it. I even made a video with Pietro Basile and it went viral. Not because of the guitar, but I played the guitar in the video. And even the stripe was like, yeah, it's like tiger stripe. I don't know. And I could not really identify with it. So here you see it on my couch. Looks great. So my kids helped me unbox it. So with the second pickguard, it has this cracked lacquer, which is really cool. It has some goodies and the headstock. So turn it around. And ultimately, I had to send it back because I have a lot of Strats and it's also not a collector thing. He really is not connected with it. He's not playing it. Why should I keep it? It's $3,000, so I'm not rich. And not playing it, not connecting with Bruno Mars with it. I send it back. So, in my opinion, the real Bruno Mars Fender Stratocaster signature guitar should be the one he was also in the ad. When I went to Musikmesse in 2014, there was the Fender booth and there were some Fender artists, so not signature guitars, but Fender artists. And he was there holding the Surf Green Strat, Fender over his head. So he was already the Fender artist, and then it never came out. And now that he's like the most famous singer in the world right now with Ed Sheeran, I would say, they bring that out and it's just not really fitting. Here you can see me in LA in the Grammy Museum. There we had the Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Best New Artist. No, Best New Artist not, but he had a lot of Grammys. And even his amps, Bogner amps, I was searching. Here you can see me it was the Olympia Hall in Germany, Munich then. So I saw him in front of 500 people. Then at Zenith, 1,500 to 3,000 people. I saw him in London. I saw him then again in Munich, always getting bigger and bigger. Saw him play the guitars, but never played another guitar that often as the 57. And that's it for my Fender Bruno Mars signature story. I will keep that for the rest of my life. It reminds me what I have achieved. It reminds me that the search is never over for the one that then is also so amazing. I even changed the pickups on this. I did a video about it, but now it's back in its original form because I want to have it how I played it back then, my first gigs, and yeah, amazing. So Fender, you can even not really buy 57 VOS, or not VOS because that's Gibson, but reissue without relicking here. I know that no one will listen to me, but make it happen. This is the real signature guitar in my opinion. So long tangent. Thank you for watching the video. Go to brufiomusic.com/gift if you want free stuff, free templates, free Kemper profiles, free mixing templates and recording guides. And hopefully we see us in the next one, and peace out.